Welcome one, welcome all. Now, can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Oh, yeah, say it. Hallelujah. It's show with no name time. Let's lift off together. 5, 4,
3,
come on.
2,
1,
0.
come on.
Ignition.
We got this.
Lift off. Lift off.
Come on. Mother. Here we go. Hold on, folks. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. And get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. Let's go. Welcome, show with no namers. What a great job you've been doing all week long. Toda la semana, you've been kicking ass and taking names. I think you say arrasando, petándolo, I've heard. Kicking ass and taking names, baby. Well, it's a pleasure to welcome you to another exciting edition of the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, we've got tons of other amazing programs at your fingertips, a tu alcance. All you have to do is download the free Vaughn Radio app and learn all day long. What a way to really make the most of your day. Anytime you've got 5 minutes, you've got 5 minutes for Vaughn Radio. 5 minutes to learn English. And 5 minutes is better than nothing. I'll tell you, even 5 minutes a day is better than nothing. So think about it that way. Think about it with the gym. Even doing 10 push-ups, 10 flexiones, is better than sitting around on the sofa doing nothing. Right? Well, same thing with your English. Some days you're like, oh man, busy day, or I'm just tired, or my head's not in the right place. It happens to all of us. We'll do a little bit, just a little bit. And sometimes, you never know, it might even make you feel better. So we're here whenever you got that 5 minutes or more. ¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com. That's right, our website is Grupo Vaughn or Grupo Vaughan. Call us what you will, grupovaughan.com, and you can find all the information you need about our courses and our materials. And speaking of materials, let's see what's in store in today's pop quiz. Come on. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Quiz. Pop quiz. Oh, yeah, folks. Welcome to our pop quiz here on the show with no name. Here's where we get a chance to explore all the different materials available at vontienda.com. And also remember, hey, if you're already on Amazon Prime, well, you can get all our materials on Amazon. You can get them at, let's say you got a Casa del Libro right under your house. I get it. But if you want, you've got Von Tienda where you can find all of them. All of them in one spot. So check it out. If you've never perused, to peruse is a very formal way of saying take a look around. Peruse. In fact, I used to mix up pursue. To pursue is ir detrás de algo, no? Una meta. And peruse. I used to mix them up in my head because I've got a slight mix up in my head with letters. I don't think I have dyslexia, but some letters flip in my head. But it's never stopped me before. But I remember I have to look sometimes, say, is it per? And then obviously, as I tell you guys, context is key. Then I'm like, well, it can't be pursue in this case. So to peruse our website, grupovon.com. Our shop is vontienda.com, and we've got offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. And if you can't come in person, don't worry. You can pick it up on the website, or guess what's right around the corner officially? It is the Feria del Libro. And as you know, I hope you know, I've said it 1,000,001 times already, and I hope you're planning to attend. I will be at the book fair at Feria del Libro Madrid the 31st of May, 2025. The 31st of May, 2025. I'll be there from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be there having fun, signing stuff. But remember, it starts on the 30th. So it starts the day before, but I will be there that Saturday. So the first Saturday, the 31st of May, 2025, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., I will be at stand 309. All right, who else have you got that day? You've got Claudia Martinez. She's amazing. You've heard her voice 1,000,000 times on our programs, and she'll be there from 7 to 8:30 on Saturday. So just in time for the champions. If you feel like getting some materials right before the Champions League final, if you're planning on watching it, well, you can stop by and see Claudia. And I know what you're thinking now. You're thinking, yeah, Claudia, you guys are awesome, great. But when is the big man going to be there? When can I go see Richard Vaughn? And I've got the answer. So, as you know, jot these down. The important ones, yours truly, un servidor. I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to see you. I'd love to sign your books. I'd love to give you some advice. So if you can, stop by. And if not, don't worry. The 31st, hey, there's plenty of book fair. I won't be there any other day, but you can find Richard the following day. Richard's going to be there Sunday, and that'll be from 12 to 1:30. Richard's going to be there Sunday, the 1st of June. This is 2025. All right. And you've got other people. Richard Vaughn will be there again the following Sunday. So Richard Vaughn is there on Sundays, basically. It seems from the schedule here that he has chosen Sundays as his key day. Also, Jimena Holiday is going to be there June 14th. If you guys want to see her, she'll be there. Even though she's not on the radio anymore, she's still obviously supporting her materials, her books that she's worked on for so many years. I would even say decades now. And Jimena will be there from 12 to 1:30. And this is Saturday, June 14th. Again, it's 3 weekends. and it kicks off this coming weekend. I'll see you on the 31st. The stand, which is the most important part, I imagine, is stand 309, 309, and we'll see you where it always takes place, at the lovely, beautiful Retiro Park in the center of Madrid. And I know a lot of friends and family are coming. I hope I'll see you there as well, amigos. All right, let's see what we've got for today's pop quiz. Today we're going to be looking at something from Gramática Fácil en Inglés. This is one of the materials you can pick up at the Von Tienda. And I know what you're thinking. ¿Gramática fácil? No, no es que es fácil. Es que lo hemos masticado para que sea fácil. Lo hemos, right? We've broken it down so to its least common denominator, you could say, using a mathematical term. So we simplify it. You know, Richard is really good at that. The method there, anytime something can be simplified, it should be, right? Especially for learning purposes. Later, you can say, okay, now remember what I told you before? Now we're going to add to that. Fine. But at least you can say, look, I work like a slave. I work as a teacher. I work as a presenter. Any questions? Ya sabes la diferencia entre like and as con acordarte esa frase. No, like es comparo, y eso es como porque lo soy, right? As. So interesting little things. What do we mean here? It doesn't mean it's English grammar that's necessarily easy. It means we simplify it for you and make it as easy as possible. It's just one of the many materials you can pick up at Von Tienda. So as always, let's give it a listen. And afterwards, I'll ask you a couple questions in our pop quiz. So here we go.
Day 15. Pasatiempo. Decided. Worked. Ended. Studied. Finished. Looked. Lived. Cooked. Loved. Started. Invited. Stayed. Washed. Needed. Liked. Asked. Wanted. Used. Arrived. Waited. Helped. Smoked. Included. Agreed. Attended. Visited. Called. Rained. Tried. Walked. Day 21. I want you to. Listening challenge. I want you to know that I'm fine. She wants us to understand it. My dad wants me to study physics. I'd like them to sign the contract. I want there to be more freedom. We want there to be less pollution. Day 36. How long does it take? Listening challenge. Ask me how long it takes to fly to the moon. Ask me how long it takes to get to New York by ship. Ask me how long it takes me to have breakfast. Ask me how long it took me to learn Spanish. Ask me how long it took Ken Follett to write his latest novel.
Day 43. Present perfect interrogative. Listening challenge. Claudia, have you made breakfast?
Yes, I have.
Have you made the bed?
No, I haven't.
Have you done the laundry?
Yes, I have.
Have you done the dishes?
Yes, I have.
Have you done the shopping?
No, I haven't.
Have you made an appointment with the dentist?
No, I haven't.
Have you made a doctor's appointment?
Yes, I have.
Have you spoken to your grandmother?
Yes, I have.
Have you sent your friend a card for his birthday?
Yes, I have.
Have you sent him a present?
No, I haven't.
Have you spoken to your dad?
No, I haven't.
Have you picked up the kids from school?
Yes, I have.
Have you picked up the package from the post office?
No, I haven't.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right. Check out more information about Vaughn Town on our website. It's grupovaughn.com. Also, remember, folks, you've got June 2nd. Am I right here? I keep thinking it's the 3rd for some reason. June. Yeah, it is the 3rd. Never mind. See, it is. I can't get it right in my head. June, thank God I repeated a million times, because if I don't remember it, maybe you guys aren't either. Well, that's why I urge you to write it down. I will be hosting a trivia night June 3rd. It's June 3rd, and it's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. You guys are going to love it. I'm just working on everything now, and the idea is to, really get everybody together and bring out their inner child. I mean, that's my goal. Bringing everybody together. That's the goal of the trivia night, to have a good time together, sharing. And the other part is, having a beer too, sharing whatever. It doesn't just have to be English and trivia. And as I said, same with the book fair. My family and friends will be there supporting me. If you guys can make it, it would be great to see you, my students who are friends as well. If you can't make it, I get it. Life is pretty crazy. I'm the first guy who can tell you that I need a clone. Necesito un clon. It's really hard because you can't be in two places at once yet. We're working on it. We're working hard on that. All right, let's take a look at today's pop quiz. This is Gramática Fácil. One of the most important things that we heard in there, okay, we heard a lot of important stuff, but one of the most important things we heard was the pronunciation of regular verb endings. And what do I mean? Now, if you guys have been with me for years, you'll know this, and I insist on this. And every now and again, I bring it out, even with my highest level students, and say, let's see how well you can pronounce these. Because if you can pronounce these well, you kind of got regular verbs under control. Regular verbs, verbos que acaban en ed, que no es como sing, sang, sung, ring, rang, rung, right? So let's take a look at the 3 different categories we have here when it comes to regular verbs. Okay. Now, what I've noticed is, in general, irregular verbs are easier to pronounce for Spanish speakers. However, you got to memorize them. But these, you don't really have to memorize the way they're spelled. Añades ed. So these are really easy to know the form, how to write them, but they're a lot harder to pronounce. That's where I find most of the mistakes that come with past tense, speaking in the past tense. So you've got your T column, and I know you heard it in the audio. Can you make this sound? Okay, asked, mixed, cooked, right? Jumped. Todos esos acaban con sonido T, aunque haya una ed. Now, let's add it to it, porque normalmente, va con algo. Vamos a ver cómo lo unimos. Did you ask it? ¿Cómo me dirías? Sí, lo pregunté. Yes, I asked it. So what happens here? We take the root, que es ask, y cogemos ese sonido T, pero en vez de ponerlo al final de ask, lo ponemos al principio de it. Y es teta, it's tit, Así suena, So did you ask it? Yes, I asked it. I asked it. All right, let's try another one. Did you bake it? ¿Lo horneaste? Yeah. Esto hay que hacerlo en voz alta, si no, no estamos practicando nada. I know how to pronounce them. Okay, did you bake it? Yeah, I baked it. Okay, muchos quieren añadir baked it, right? So baked, so primero es bake y luego la T, que normalmente iría con esa ED ahí, se une al it. Did you bake it? Yeah, I baked it. I baked it. Horneo teta. Did you brush it? Your hair? Did you brush it this morning? Yeah, I brushed it. I brushed it. No eat, teat, it. And this is, I mean, if you can pronounce these good, you've got like the language under control, at least pronunciation. Did you fix it? ¿Lo arreglaste? Yeah, I fixed it. Fix it. Okay, did you fix it? Yeah. Did you escape it? Yeah, I escaped it. Okay, make a list, write it out if you have to, but the idea really is to say it aloud. Okay, one more from this category, and we'll take a look at another category. Did you stop it? ¿Lo frenaste? Yeah, I stopped it. I stop, no esto, I stopped it. I stopped it. Somebody had to stop it, so I stopped it. Columna T. The next one is D. Can you make this sound? D. So the first one, t. The second one, d. Did you allow it? Yeah, I allowed it. Ahora en vez de una T, unimos una D. Okay? Did you allow it? ¿Lo permitiste? Yeah, I allowed it. Did you close it? ¿Lo cerraste? Yeah, I close. O sea, otra vez, raíz es close. D, olvídate de meterlo ahí, mételo con la próxima palabra. Y lo mismo si es her o him. Okay, did you answer her? Yeah, I answered her. Ahora me como la H de her porque es muy difícil decir I answered her. No es muy difícil, pero es incómodo a la hora de hablar. Entonces nos comemos esa H. So did you answer her? Yeah, I answered her. I answered her. See, if you, and I know it sounds like, der, ¿cómo que that's the way it sounds. Okay, let's try another one. Muy común. ¿Lo disfrutaste? Did you enjoy it? Contéstalo con tu mejor pronunciación en inglés ahora. Did you enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So, lo separo para que lo oigas, pero vamos a juntarlo. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Okay, did you show it? ¿Lo demostraste? Yeah, I showed it. I showed it. Did you follow it? Ahora vamos a cambiarlo a him. Did you follow him? Me como la H. Did you follow him? Yeah, I followed him. Dim. You can say I followed him, but it's just not even natural. I followed him. I followed her, and I followed him. So in ambos casos, la de dim, der. All right, one more from this category. Did you love her? ¿Le quisiste? Yeah, I loved her. I loved her. All right, so al final te estoy diciendo que puedes quitar, sí, puedes quitar H's que realmente cuestan hacer. And again, if I asked a native speaker, hey, do you have a problem with those H's? Why are you omitting H's? Like, I'm not omitting it. I'm saying the H's, right? Because in your head, you're saying it, but you just leave it as a breath. I watched her, right? Como lo unimos todo junto, la H no se oye, se une, se plancha, as I say. We get those wrinkles out so it sounds uniform. Por eso el gonna. ¿Cómo es que es a si es to? Going to. ¿De dónde viene el a? Well, I'm going to. I'm going to. It's not to. I'm going to speak to her. Pero ya se ha dicho tanto. I'm going to speak to her. I'm going to speak to her. Right? I wanna. Porque es otra vez el I, not want to. Porque es want to. Porque no es to, it's to. Do you wanna? Do you wanna go where I never let you before? Oh my God, folks, we are totally out of time here in the first part of the show. I didn't even give you the pop quiz challenges. I'll tell you what, I'll give them to you right when we come back from our commercial break. And we need to take a look at that third column. So we looked at the T, We looked at the D ending, and now we're going to look at the id. Accepted, decided. Ahí la E se pronuncia. En los demás, no. Right? La T y la D, ese sonido vocal, la E ahí, muda. Y se cambia por una D o una T. Folks, we'll be right back with much more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, you've got amazing programs all day long. You can start your day with the Pro Bowl show with Rob Grams. You've got No Excuses with Fitz. You've got the Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. The Salad with Dave Boyes. Kyle Miller's Drive Time. Chris Frank and Frankly Speaking. Jessica Fernandez in the Hour to Empower. Richard Vaughn Live. And we've got a new show coming soon. A new show in the pipeline. Por venir. So download the free Vaughn Radio app and learn with us on the go. All right, let me give you guys your pop quiz challenges, and this way we can get working on that and we can buy some time, as we say in English, comprar tiempo, to buy some time. The first one, I want you to use asistir in English, okay? Asistir, acudir, ¿no? A un sitio. I want you to use it. Why not use it in a context you would normally use it in? And this way it's practical English. So asistir is the verb I want you to use, which is also acudir in Spanish, and it means to go to a certain place. All right, that's number one. The second one, I want you to tell me lo que quieres para otra persona. So, quiero ser feliz. Okay, quiero que mi hija sea feliz. Quiero que tal persona me respete. Whatever it is, I want you to use that indirect speech there. Quiero que tal haga o no haga o diga. That's up to you. I want to make sure you know that simple yet confusing structure. Okay? And the last one, I want you to use cuánto se tarda. That's another one that tends to be a bit confusing. ¿Cuánto se tarda en hacer? Bueno, pregúntame. Maybe it's something you want to know. ¿Cuánto se tarda en lo que sea, en cruzar Estados Unidos? Whatever, you know what? Whatever way you would naturally use it, I think is the best way to use it. This way, there's a certain practicality behind it. So the first one in your pop quiz is use asistir. Okay, show me that you know how to use asistir, acudir in English. The next one, tell me what, te lo iba a decir la estructura. Dime lo que quieres para otra persona o quieres que otra persona haga. Okay, tell me that. And the last one, the third one, is ¿cuánto se tarda en hacer tal cosa? You can give me whatever examples you want for all three of those. That's your pop quiz. And right now we're going to take a look at today's Say What soundbite. Say what? All right, amigos, your Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. This is probably one of the most famous people to ever walk the planet. Sadly, the person didn't walk the planet for too long, which cemented this person's iconic status. So, folks, as always, I want you to give me your take, your feedback, based on what you heard. You'll have 4 chances to write it all down, but remember, the first thing we're going to do is see how much of it, or see if we can get the gist of it, the main idea, the point, as we would say. Okay? So is everybody ready? Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Any American would know that voice, even if you're from my generation. I don't know about the youngsters now, los jovenzuelos ahora, but anybody from my generation and older, you know that voice. And I think anybody who's a history buff, amante de la historia, will know who this person is. All right, let me give it to you a second time, because the goal is not to know who the person is. It's to tell me what they're saying. All right, here we go.
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend Because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo. Vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit. That's right, folks. This Book is the Shit. Come see me at the book fair. You can pick up This Book is the Shit. You can pick up This Book is the Milk too. You can pick up the original This Book is the Milk. And then you've also got English Everywhere and Aprende Inglés Viajando with English on the Go. So I've got 5 different materials that you can pick up. You've got your translation booklets, which are worth their weight in gold. And you've even got Gramática Fácil, which we're taking a look at today in our pop quiz. I see we've got a lot of students participating, so good morning to all of you. Welcome aboard. I see you guys are ready to rock. Let's see who's with us and check in, see who's participating and rocking and rolling with us for the next hour and a half, until 12:30. This way I don't have to calculate anything. All right, up we've got David. David, up and Adam, arriba, adelante, y a por ellos. David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. What's up, David? Welcome aboard. Great to read your name and to have you on board with us. There's lovely Laura. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no-namers. I won't be able to participate much today, but I'll be listening most of the time. Don't worry, even when you're not here, Laura, you're with us in spirit. There's no doubt about it. There's Born to Iron Man. He says, morning, friends. Morning, Born to Iron Man. I have a hunch you're going to enjoy today's spelling bee. Well, I know you usually enjoy them. But I mean, I have a hunch that you're really, really going to enjoy it today. It's up your alley. One of those kind of things that you're going to say, oh, I love this. I'll tell you what, I love the topic in today's spelling bee as well. So, but it's not time for our spelling bee. We're going to take a look at your pop quiz answers in just a moment. Let's see, who else? Anix. Anix says, hi there. Hello, Anix. And Anix, thanks for participating in the question of the week. You guys only have a few hours left to participate in the question of the week, our weekly speaking exercise. And this week's question comes from Chris Valrol. She sent me a handful of questions, un puñado, and I'm going through some of them now. So this week, we want to find out your first trip, unsupervised. Now, you don't have to get into detail, but where did you go? Did you go just around the corner? Did you go really far away? Did you go for just a couple days? Or was it, 2 weeks without my... So tell us about your first trip without your folks, right? Where you were kind of unsupervised and left to your own devices, as we say. Que peligro. Very dangerous. So thank you, Anix, and also Elena. and Nuria and Chris Valrol. Those ladies have already participated, and I've got you here in my soundboard, in my mixing board. Ya estáis en la mesa de mezcla. So you're ready to go for Friday's question of the week. If you'd like to participate, send me a 1-minute voice note. You can send it to aalonso@grupovon.com. aalonso@grupovon.com, and do it before the end of the day on Thursday if you'd like to assure that you will be included in our question of the week. And we have it every Friday. It's an opportunity for you guys to take all this English you're learning and put it into practice. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol says, morning, awesome show with no-namers. Morning, Chris Valrol. Speak of the devil. I just mentioned your name, referring to our question of the week. And she says, morning, awesome show with no-namers. Double A, I want you to know, quiero que sepas, ¿sí? Ya estamos usando indirect speech. Y ni te lo había pedido todavía. No, lo sé por la hora, the timestamp. She says, I want you to know, quiero que sepas, that I was listening to Peter, Paul, and Mary because you mentioned them on yesterday's show, and they didn't ring a bell. Awesome. That's one of my favorite things about doing a show is not just sharing English and teaching you guys English, but learning different things about different music and movies through each other. A través de sitios, right? If we're doing it in our question of the week, what's the most exotic place? Well, we're learning about different places, about animals, by sharing. So I think that's great. When you discover not only some new English vocabulary words, but also groups that maybe you hadn't heard of, or movies that you hadn't heard of, or just famous people or stories. Oh, I'm going to look. A veces nos digo, búscate esto, es muy interesante. Este caso o esta situación que ocurrió, este acontecimiento, this event. So great, Chris. I love it. Chris says, what a scare. I have train tickets for the 3rd. Yeah, don't mind me. Don't mind me. That's why I always say, write it down. And when I'm telling you, I have to look at it. There's just too much on my mind. All right, let's see. Chris is participating in today's pop quiz. Also, let's get to that 3rd column there. We didn't get to that 3rd column. So we already said, vamos a repasar. Did you push her? ¿Le empujaste? O le forzaste? ¿No? También es, right? As your teacher, I push you. No tiene que ser negativo. So did you push her in the last class? Yeah, I pushed her. Did you say it like that? I pushed her. Okay. Did you pack it? ¿Lo metiste a la maleta? Yeah, I packed it. All right. 2nd column, the D column. Vamos a ver dos y repasamos y vemos la tercera columna. Did you use it? Muy común. ¿Lo usaste? Yeah, I used it. Did you? Yeah, I used it. Okay. Did you save her? ¿Le salvaste? Yeah, I saved her. I saved him. Right? Sí, ya estamos. Y ellos, I saved them. Is them. That's crazy. I know. Hey, one thing is what it says, and one thing is what we say, what comes out of our mouths. That happens in many languages, though, too. All right. That last column, you got to pronounce it. And it's interesting because my daughter thought, and I tell this every time I teach this now, before I couldn't give you this from experience, but for my daughter, when, she was still getting a grasp on the language, for her, did it meant es pasado. O sea, componer un did it, para ella, she was like, did we watch did it? She was, y metía un did it, porque para ella, did it, pues, y no. I bet she's not thinking es pasado. She just knew if I wanted to talk about something I did before, it's did it. So, did you accept it? Yeah, I accepted it. I accepted it. Did it. Speaking of the Pink Panther, La Pantera Rosa, do you know one of my daughter's favorite jokes? Because we love the Pink Panther. Nos encanta. All right, what did the Pink Panther say when he stepped on an ant? Da-dan, 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 da-dan. I know, it's horrible. My daughter loves it. Did you paint it? Vamos a terminar esto así. Tenemos las tres columnas claras, okay? Did you paint it? Yeah, I painted it. Did it. La tercera columna es did it. Okay? Vamos a ponerlo con her and him. O sea, son cosas que le suelen seguir, ¿no? Did you hate her? ¿Le odiaste o le tuviste envidia? That's also to hate, right? Yeah, I hated her. Not her. Porque es muy, muy difícil meter ese suspiro, esa respiración ahí. Okay, did you count it? ¿Lo contaste? Yeah, I counted it. Did you rent it? ¿Lo alquilaste? Yeah, I rented it. All right, so those are your three columns. I cannot stress the importance of pronouncing those correctly. Okay, and how difficult it is. You're saying, pues son verbos regulares, es ed. Pero pronuncio como te, pronuncio como de, pronuncio el tired. And how do you know that? From practicing it until you're like, esto suena correcto así, no con te, no con de. Now there is an explanation, but it's not going to really help you because you're not going to put your hand on your throat every time. Is this vocal or is it non? You see what I mean? So it's more about recognizing it, being familiar with it. That's why in language learning, there's a lot of repetition. You need to be familiar with things, familiarity, as we say. All right. So let's see. Chris says, I attend. Te falta una T ahí, Chris. Attend doble T in inglés. I attend the trivia night whenever I can. Well, it's usually when I'm hosting, I've noticed. Oh, I think you were at a couple other ones, but I've noticed, Chris, that you make an extra effort when I'm hosting, and that's awesome. It's always great to see you. And Alberto too. I hope Alberto's coming along too. You know, I think he enjoys it secretly. A part of him's like, okay, maybe it's not my first choice of plans, but hey, we have a good time with this crew. Great, Chris. Thank you for that effort as well. Not just the effort every day here on the show, but the effort of coming to a different city and, on a weeknight and hanging out with us for a couple hours. Looking forward to it. Let's see the next one. I want my cousin Emma to have a happy birthday. What's the mistake here? Claro, la traducción literal. I want that you listen. No, I want you to, right? I want that I want him to. So I get it. You're thinking, bueno, lo traduzco palabra por palabra, pero en inglés no funciona así. So siempre piensa esto. I want to break free. Vamos a usar Freddie Mercury, ya que estamos. I want to break free. I want him to break free. O sea, lo único que cambia es meter un him. Right? So si ya sabes decir, I want to hacer tal cosa, pues I want him to hacer, I want them to hacer tal cosa. You're complicating it. I want that you, lo complica. Comparado con el quiero, que ya sabes, la gente no se suele equivocar con quiero comer. I want to eat. Okay, well, I want her to eat, right? So think about it that way. It's sometimes we're over complicating it by trying to translate it into Spanish. So great job, Chris. And the last one, she says, how long does it take to get to Madrid by train? It depends where you're going from. Almeria, like 75,000 hours. Oh, yeah, we don't have high-speed rail over there. The poor area, right? Well, hey, not because I say so, But, yeah, how long does it take to verbo? Eso es la estructura. How long does it take to make spaghetti? Now, aquí también, si queremos ahora personalizarlo, how long does it take you? So si quiero preguntar en general, I say, how long does it take to verbo? How long does it take to make a paella? How long did it take you to make a paella last time you made one? See, so also we got to be aware of not just the structure, but now when we put somebody in there, when we make it specific, then where we put that person. Okay? Excellent job, Chris. Team leader over here. Let's see. We've got Chris also. Is Chris the only one? She's not the only one here, but she's the only one participating, it seems. Well, if you guys don't want to participate, it's all right. I get it. If you don't know the answers, now what? I don't know I'm going to participate. All right. So talking about the Say What soundbite, Chris says, I heard an American man who's giving a speech. Absolutely. He says they are there, among other things, to celebrate freedom. Yep. Now, my question here, too, is there are some tough words in there, aren't there? And this guy does not pronounce like I do. There's one point in the audio where he says potties. Potties. You hear it? Potties. I would say parties. Parties. The British would say parties. But this is potties. Extending that sound. Potties. You know what it sounds like to me? Potty es retrete, el baño. Right? A kid would say, I have to go to the potty, mommy. But that's how people from this guy's neck of the woods would say party. So that word in there is not potty. No es bañito. It's parties. So I'm curious, did anybody notice that accent is very unique, very distinct, if you will? Great ear, Chris, as always. There's German, our wordsmith, que siempre juega con esas palabras. He says, morning, beloved, admired, and sometimes thrilled fellows. What's up, German? Welcome aboard. And Chris confirms it. Well, you know what? I try, at least when I'm hosting, the same thing I do when I'm, doing anything. I try and read the room, como decimos en inglés. To read the room es ver si la gente está on board, si no están on board, si están aburridos, si están súper enganchados, right? So I'm always trying to gauge that, medir eso. And I got to say, last time Alberto was laughing, he had a big smile. I mean, I knew you would be because you were surrounded by friends. But he looked like he was having a blast. All right, well, amigos, I can't believe it, but we have to go to our next commercial break. We are halfway through the show, and we've got a lot more to cover. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3, or the second half of today's show with No Name. Thank you so much to all of you for tuning in, laughing, and learning. And I don't just mean the people who are here with us live. Nope. I mean all of you who tune in to the podcast. A shout out to you. Nobody's saying your name every day. right? But as I say, the students who are here represent the ones who are not here. That's why no pressure, guys. You better do a good job. You're the ambassadors. There are many people who wish they could be here, but 10:30 a lot of times is, well, in any radio station, there's a huge drop-off in listenership. That's why they gave me the spot. They're like, well, he'll keep people there. It's true. Richard said, 10:30. How do I get people to stay tuned at 10:30? It's a tough time for radio. And there you go. He said, I'll put a crazy American guy with tons of energy in there. And it doesn't drop off too much. Last I heard. So thank you, guys. No matter how you listen to the show. Thank you if you've got my books. Thank you if you've ever just said a nice word. Because all of that just makes me, it's my fuel. It keeps me going. Makes me tick, como decimos. Something that makes you tick te motiva. Hace que hagas tick, ¿no? Es tu fuerza, tu motor. All right, amigos, let's kick off with today's Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name.
Sing it, show with no name. Sing it. This is like our grunge. As you know, we've got a lot of different musical styles in our different jingles here on the show. All right, let's take a look at today's homophones. I think you're familiar with both of these words, so then it's going to come down to a question of pronunciation. The first word is gastado, usado, también erosionado. No, if we're talking about rocks. Si hablamos de ropa, es gastado, usado. But also, we can say una persona desgastado. Oh, estoy reventado. Estoy desgastado. All right, that is the first one. Y también es llevado, puesto, right? Nunca he puesto una camiseta así. It's ese puesto, llevar puesto, right? La tercera columna, so it's wear, right? Wear is, I wear a hat every day, pero nunca he llevado, pues es la tercera columna del verbo wear, el participio del verbo wear. And as we said, it means many other things as well. But they're all related, at least in this case, right? Gastado, desgastado, right? Usado, que no es la primera, ya está usado, llevado, ropa. All right, so that is your first word. And your second word is another word I'm pretty sure you're familiar with, and that word is advertir, okay? Avisar, advertir. That is the second word. So, are you familiar with the two words? I'm pretty sure you are, because they're not like weird. Well, they are weird, because that's why they're in this section. Right? They're a little tricky, but at the same time, I don't think they're words that are that you haven't seen, right? They're pretty frequent is the word I'm looking for here. They're words that are used quite frequently in the language. All right? Those are your two words. What are they? And do they sound exactly the same? And also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite for the third time.
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath.
Hey, Daddy, when's the next trivia night?
It's Tuesday, June 3rd at 8 p.m.
Who's hosting?
Me.
Oh, great. Where is it again?
At the Toast Tap Room.
Cool. See you there.
Awesome. Pues ahí lo tenéis, familia. Nos vemos el 3 de junio a las 8 en Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. You know all the information now. Just be there. It's going to be fun. You've got the book fair. I'll be there. And then just a couple days later, I'll be doing the trivia night. Come to one or both. Either way, all the information is available on social media. Just go to Vaughn's page. I don't know if it's Grupo Vaughn. I think it's Grupo Vaughn on Instagram. Either way, if you go to our website, you can find all our social media links. I'm a little disconnected these days. I don't really, as many of you know, I haven't really been using my professional accounts because I'm just burnt out, quemado, with social media. So I've just been kind of using it more as a hobby, like something I do when, all right, well, I'm going to post a roller coaster. I'm going to post something about Disney. I'm going to post, instead of feeling forced, to post. I guess it's something everybody goes through. And, well, right now, I think prioritizing my mental health over providing more content, because obviously you've got a lot of content from me every week. But I was getting burnt out on social media, not just, doing the content, but being there all the time. And well, I figured it was good to take a little break. That doesn't mean I won't start posting videos again and images from my books, little tips and tricks. But for the time being, if you haven't noticed, my social media accounts are inactive. However, you got Vaughn. They're active. I know many other. Kyle Miller posts a lot of stuff as well. So you guys feel free to follow them for English content. And if you're patient, who knows? Maybe I'll start creating some content for social media in the future. But I needed a little break, and it feels really good. So let's see. Chris has got something to say. She says, speaking of today's Say What soundbite guy, he was from Massachusetts, I think. Yeah, definitely Boston, in the Boston area. And by the way, what an easy word, Massachusetts. I had to look at it 3 times to write it correctly. You can always use the abbreviation, Mass. M-A-S-S. Don't worry. That one, Connecticut, Mississippi, solo lo sé porque teníamos una canción, right? Para acordarte, because there's a lot of a lot of S's and I's in there and P's. So yeah, some states are pretty tough to spell. You're right, Chris. So yeah, you're spot on. So I know you know who it is. Let's see. K Roller Girl. What's up, K Roller Girl? She says, wishing little Emma to have an awesome turn of the sun. I hope she has a whale of a time. My congrats to you, parents. All right, K Roller Girl. You the other day, if I'm not mistaken, you wrote me to find out the email address for the question of the week. It's A Alonso. I answered you, but just in case, A Alonso at grupovon.com. All right, Born to Iron Man is giving us today's homophones, and those are the correct words. And he says they sound alike. German is giving us the correct words, and he says they're homophones as well. And Chris, she says, I'd say they're homophones. So, whoa. Okay. That's 3 students that I normally trust. Do you guys trust them? Do you think they're right? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to read German's brilliant sentence here. Excellent, German. I love that you're always finding a way to play with the words. And he says, I'm here to warn you not to wear that worn out jacket. So I'm here to warn you, not to wear the worn out jacket. Worn. Which order did I say them in? Worn. They sound exactly the same. Invéntatelo. Doesn't matter. Without context, they sound the same. So I know you know warning, no, de la etiqueta, the label. Warning. This is a dangerous. So el verbo is to warn. but it's spelled differently. Sorry, it's pronounced exactly the same as warn. So I wanted to forewarn you. To forewarn is prevenir, right? To forewarn. And as I said, worn can be blue jeans, can be clothes, right? They're worn, desgastados, but also I've worn that jacket 1,000,000 times. Now I've worn it out, and now I'm worn. Se puede añadir out al final, como habéis oído. I'm worn out. I am worn, right? So it's wear, wore, worn. And you know what? All three of those are homophones. Let's see if you guys know it. So I just gave you the three forms of the verb wear. I want you to tell me, we already know the third one is worn, avisar. What are the homophones for the first two? For la primera and la segunda columna. If you know it, you can tell us. And in the meantime, let's kick off today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, amigos, it is our Spelling Bee here on the show with no name. All right, let's see. Chris says where and where. That's right. So the first column is where. Where do you want me to wear that jacket? So where, donde, and where llevar puesto. And the second column, does anyone know what that second column sounds like? Again, three different homophones we can look at just with this verb here, llevar puesto, o gastar, o desgastar, right? Again, it's got many uses, but the idea is the same behind it. All right, does anyone know that second one? The second one is war and war. So the general wore a uniform in the Second World War. The general wore a war uniform. So there you go. Chris, you got it. You got both of them over there. Wonderful job. All right, folks. The moment of truth is upon us. This is our Spelling Bee. This is the first round of our Spelling Bee. And as always, this is tough. I wish you luck, but you don't need it, I don't think, because you practice every day. Same thing I tell my daughter. I said, you don't need luck. You just got to keep practicing. Okay, you need luck. But, you get what I'm saying. Your luck increases at doing something right? Your luck increases if you know what you're doing, right? Direct correlation there between the two. All right, are you ready? This is round one. Let's capitalize the first letter of each word. And here we go. The first one is EDMUND space HILLARY. The second one is TENZING space NORGAY. The third one is SHERPA. The fourth one, SAGARMATHA. The fifth one is MOUNT space EVEREST. And the last one is QOMOLANGMA. ¿Qué tal vas de ánimo? ¿Necesitas un empujón? ¿Un poco de aliento? No sweat, no te preocupes. Pásate por vaughantienda.com y hazte con nuestro nuevo material multimedia. 365 días de wellness e inglés. Y viene de la mano de tu propio personal trainer profesional, David Gómez Agudo, conocido por sus miles de seguidores en las redes como Fitbull Coach.
Trabajarás fitness, mindset, nutrición y por supuesto el inglés. Y viene con más de 250 vídeos para que entrenes junto con tu coach. Es un win-win. Haz que este año sea tu año, con 365 días de wellness e inglés.
Oh, yeah. What a great material. Just one of the amazing materials you can pick up at the book fair. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man taking a stab at it over here. And you're shouting. It's all right. It's okay. As long as you know you're shouting. Y no lo voy a gritar because I can't. My vocal cords. Got to take care of them. But let's see. The important thing is that you got them right, that you have dotted your I's and crossed your T's. The first one is correct. Well, I'm screaming at you. You're screaming at me. You didn't have to do them again. It's all right. Don't worry, man. He said, oops, I blocked the caps. The caps lock was on. Either that or you're very angry. And you know what? I assumed it wasn't the latter. El segundo. All right. So the first one's correct, sir. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is correct. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your classmate, Born to Iron Man. Wow. He gave it to us in caps lock, and then he gave it to us written normal. So you had time to write it. Dude, incredible. What can I say except you are our spelling bee champion, buddy. Also, wait, looks like Chris Valrol coming in at the last minute there. Let's see. Chris, yes, 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 and yes. Give it up for Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol. All right, this is round two. Here we go. The first one is, and I'm going to slow down a little bit here, okay? Not much, but a little bit. And the first one is EDMUND space HILLARY. The second one is TENZING space NORGAY. The third one is SHERPA. The fourth one is SAGARMATHA. Y ahí acaba. It sounded like I was going to say more, but I wasn't. The fifth one is MOUNT space EVEREST. And the last one is QOMOLANGMA. All right. And those are your words today. They all had to do with Mount Everest. That's right. Mount Everest, known in Nepalese as Sagarantha. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but everybody spelled it correctly. So that's good news. In fact, which word was that? That was the fourth word, Sagarmatha. That is the Nepalese name for it. And again, forgive my pronunciation, my Tibetan pronunciation. Kuomolangma is another way to call it. That's what the Tibetans call it. We call it Mount Everest. So number 5 was Mount Everest. Number 4 was Sagarmatha. And number 6 was Kuolangma. And number 1, Edmund Hillary. Okay. Number 2, Tenzing, Norgay. And number 3, Sherpa. And those are the local people, the ones who usually do all the work and don't get the glory, right? So today, as you can probably imagine, today in 1953, Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay became the first people to reach the summit of Mount Everest. And it also happened to be Tenzing Norgay's adopted 39th birthday. So he was adopted, and when you don't have a birth certificate, you got to kind of make it up. So wow, to summit, que lo podemos usar como verbo, on your birthday must be awesome. And that was today in 1953. In the year 1953, my mother was just 2 years old. Now, obviously, this was not the first attempt. Intento. No, there was an attempt in 1921. It was not so much an attempt, so much as a reconnaissance mission. So in 1921, the Brits sent a bunch of people out there, and their goal was not to summit. It was to explore possible routes, right? But they didn't even try to get to the top. They said, let's see if we were to get to the top in the future, which we'd like to, well, what would be the best ways, the different ways to get to the top? All right. And then in 1922, just a year later, it was the first summit attempt. Okay. Now, these were also the first recorded deaths on Everest due to an avalanche. So they did not summit. Also in 1924, 2 years after that, George Mallory and Andrew Irvine vanished. Yeah, they were trying to summit, and nobody knows if they summited or not, okay, because they vanished. So they might have reached the summit, because many people die on the way down, right? They summit too late, the weather changes. So getting to the top is important, but also getting down, I think, is more important. So the first successful ascent, that's the one we're talking about today, Sir Edmund Hillary. He was from New Zealand. And yeah, that was part of a British expedition, right? To do the same thing, to summit, and it was led by John Hunt. Other milestones. Well, in 1963, the first American ascent. Okay, so 10 years later. 1975, and that was almost 10 years after that, the first woman to summit, a woman named Junko Taibei from Japan. 1978 saw the first ascent without oxygen. And what else? 1980, the first solo ascent without oxygen. Okay. 1996, the deadliest day at that time. And there's actually a book called Into Thin Air by John Krakauer about this storm that killed 8 climbers. So in 1996, people said, oh, wow, this is nature, I guess, huh? Okay, people had died before, but that day, the mountain, the condition, they saw that you don't fuck with nature. Because if a storm comes, I don't care what kind of gear you have, you're not coming back alive. Then in 2010 or 2010, the youngest climber to summit, and that was a kid, 13-year-old kid from the States. Imagine that, 13 años. Now, either the kid ended up being a drug addict or he ended up being the CEO of a company. You know, I don't know. You know, when you have those huge successes so young, where do you go from there? Where do you go? So a 13-year-old guy, a kid named Jordan Romero, and very, very interesting. I'll give you some famous quotes here. Sir Edmund Hillary, it is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves, right? Tenzing Norgay had a more spiritual way to say it. To a man who has grown up in the shadow of Everest, the mountain is a friend, a protector, a god. Reinhold Messner, he was the first one to summit solo without oxygen. And he says, mountains aren't fair or unfair. They're just dangerous. There you go, folks. People get poetic when they think of this amazing mountain, Mount Everest. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4 of today's show with no name. Don't forget to stay tuned. We've got tons of amazing programs all day long. And you can learn English for free with the Vaughn Radio app. Oh, yeah. In this part of the show, we're going to take a look at today's Double Trouble. We'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the 4th time. It's a tough one today. Some really tough vocabulary in there. Politician speak. Habla de políticos, ¿no? Plus, we've got movies, music, and so much more. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to read you another quote from Everest. Ed Viesturs, an American climber who has summited 7 times. This is what he said. Reaching the summit is optional. No, llegar a la cumbre. Reaching the summit is optional. Getting down is mandatory. Obligatorio. Also, when they asked George Mallory, one of the guys who disappeared, they asked him, well, why do you want to climb Mount Everest? And his answer was quite simply, because it's there. porque existe, porque ahí está. So, interesting, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, you can draw a parallel to mountains and rivers and nature in general and life. All right, well, let's kick off with today's double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, amigos, welcome to our Double Trouble section. And as always, we're going to take a look at words with many meanings, and we'll put them into a translation. Let's see if you guys can figure these out. No llevas camiseta puesta y la medicina está dejando de tener efecto. All right? So, no llevas camiseta y la medicina está dejando de tener efecto. Okay? Desvanecerse, quitarse, pasarse, to diminish. Okay, is the word I'm looking for here. It is a phrasal verb. I can give you a clue there. So, we looked at llevar puesto before. You should, guys, I try and help you as much as I can. All right. So, no llevas camiseta puesta y la medicina está dejando de tener efecto. There you go. You've got to use the same word twice in today's Double Trouble. Good luck. Hopefully somebody will get it here in the comments. And I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite now. Here is the fourth and final listen.
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
Oh, yeah, it is the Oxford Test of English, and you can get it done in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. Don't forget, we've got offices there, and you do not need an appointment to stop by. Now, if you want to get a level test, if you want to have a meeting to discuss, yeah. But if you just want to come in for some information, you want to pick up some materials, or just take a look around, peruse, to go back to the word we saw at the beginning of the show, feel free. We'd love to meet you. Or maybe you just want to say, hey, me llamo Chris, vivo aquí, bueno, soy oyente vuestro, whatever you want to do. As I said, we'd love to meet you. We want to know who's listening. Now, I know who's listening, but not everybody in our offices in Bilbao and Vigo. I'm sure many of their students listen. I mean, it makes sense. If you're taking Vaughan classes, well, that's how you do your homework. Well, your homework is listen to Vaughan Radio and come back and be ready to do whatever exercise comes up. And since we all use the Vaughan method, right? We use el método Vaughan, but of course, part of the Vaughan method and a part you cannot remove, no puedes quitarlo, is the teacher's personality. So no matter, no two teachers will do the class the same way. We'll use the same ideas. We'll have the same goals. But in the end, I'm going to use different examples. I'm going to do it in a different way than everybody else will do it. So it's great. It's a method that works, but it also works because the teacher's personality is a big part of that, right? The teacher's energy and personality, and also, strictness, right? I remember one of the first things Fitz taught us. He goes, you correct every mistake. Let them know that you're always paying attention. You're always listening, and you're there to correct every mistake. And it was something from the get-go. He said, everyone, because if not, they're making them. So first things first, make sure you're attacking where the student's making mistakes, as well as teaching the lesson you have planned. Right. And that happens a lot of times where I'm like, I've got a lesson planned and I'm like, este error, hay que parar aquí a mirar esto, porque es muy común. So, all right, let's see. We've got a lot of comments here. I'm going to go right to the ones that are participation in the section. Just if not, we'll run out of time. So Chris Valrol says, you're not wearing a shirt. Excellent. So far, so good. And the medicine is wearing off. Yes! We were looking at wear before, llevar puesto. We looked at to be worn out. But if something wears off, it's not as strong as it used to be, right? So to wear off. A ver cómo lo traducen otra vez. Here, I'll give you look at the example here. The pain-relieving effects of the aspirin would wear off after just an hour, okay? So to wear off, the effects of something diminish, okay? And excellent job, Chris Valro. Let's see, German says, you're not wearing a T-shirt and your meds, normally we say meds with an S, your meds are wearing off. Great job, folks. Yes, to wear off. I know you knew wear because we looked at it before, and most people know that. Now, just be careful. I've had people say, I'm going to go wear. No, I'm going to go get dressed. So, vestirse is to get dressed. Llevar puesto is to wear, right? Es lo que pasa después de vestirse, right? O no lo has puesto. El ejemplo que usamos antes. I haven't worn a hat in years. I haven't worn, no he llevado. So excellent job. Yeah. To wear off. Not the same as to be worn out or to wear out. You're wearing me out. Me estás cansando, me estás agotando. All right, folks, we have got to move on, though, because as you know, time is of the essence. El tiempo es oro. So we're going to the movies. Name that movie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's where we learn a little bit from pop culture, from movies, which are a part. I mean, I remember movies always being a part of my life, even though I'm not a fan of the current, movie making machine out there. And I feel like they're just making, just look at the numbers, flop after flop. Did you guys, Snow White. How do you screw up Snow White? ¿Cómo cagas a Snow White? It's a timeless tale. Well, if you decide to reinvent the wheel, but I guess Disney doesn't mind because they're making money in their other ventures, en sus otros negocios. God knows they can't make a movie to save their life, which is a shame. Biggest entertainment company in the world can't make a successful film since, what was the last one? Endgame? Was that the last one? And that wasn't even Disney. It's Avengers. It's another IP. So that just gives you an idea of the state of things. I mean, an original movie, like A movie where you're like, it's about people. It's not about, explosions and taking over other planets and special effects and CGI. Personally, I get it. CGI has made people's lives a lot easier. Just ask, George Lucas. They had to make models. Now they can just put it on a computer. But you're not fooling us. No, I always know when it's CGI, and it takes me out of the movie. So I guess it's like everything, in moderation. But they don't. In fact, nothing is real on a movie set now. It must be difficult as an actor because you're just talking to a green screen like, Johnny, I can't believe you did this. And Johnny's just a green wall. So pretty crazy stuff. The state of movies, el estado de las películas, of show business in general. I guess that's just me being old too. I long for a time when there were a lot of good movies every year. And there were a lot of good songs every year. Not like, one. So, all right, here we go. A teenager teams up with, we looked at this, apiñar, hacer equipo, no? Juntarse con. A teenager teams up with the daughter of young adult horror author R.L. Stine after the writer's imaginary demons are set free on the town of Madison, Delaware. All right. We said this word the other day too. Digo, wow, me ha dado escalofríos. Eso, remember? And I used the word. Well, that's the name of this movie. Also a children's series. Well, as we just said, young adult horror. So a teenager teams up with the daughter of a young adult horror author, R.L. Stine. I mean, I think most of you know that author's name. After the writer's imaginary demons, demonios, malvados, imaginarios, are set free, released, soltados, on the town of Madison, Delaware. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Valrol, our movie queen. She's the movie queen. Oh, yeah. It's Goosebumps. That's right. Goosebumps. And it came out in 2015. And it stars Jack Black, among others. It came out in 2015. I've got to tell you something. I have not seen this. I used to read the Goosebumps books, but I haven't seen the movie. All right, well, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen for you here today. Zach says, you're him, aren't you? You're R.L. Stine. Tú eres él, ¿no? Tú eres R.L. Stine, el autor. And R.L. Stine's playing dumb. And he goes, R.L. who? I don't know who that is. Right? Haciendo el tonto. I have no idea who that is. And Zach says, oh, really? Just as well, because his books suck. Pues mejor que no le conoces porque sus libros son una porquería, una mierda. His books suck. Right? And then Hannah says, what are you doing? Because they know it's him. And Zach, he doubles down. To double down is, no, voy a seguir por ese camino y más, ahora, más fuerte. And he goes, well, you know what? I can't decide which I hate more, monster blood or go eat worms. And Champ says, I'm so confused. Like, why is he putting him down? ¿Por qué le está insultando? And Zach says, you see the endings coming from a mile away. Esto es, se ve venir de lejos. Nosotros usamos millas, por ejemplo, right? So you can see, I could see you coming from a mile away. Te vi venir. Desde lejos, desde una milla, we say. He goes, you see the endings, los finales de sus libros, coming from a mile away. So it's very predictable, right? He says, it's like, stop trying to be Stephen King, man. He's like, deja ya de intentar ser Stephen King, hombre. And R.L. Stine slams on the brakes because they're driving. To slam on the brakes es frenazo. And he says, let me tell you something. Y ahora, de repente, he's R.L. Stine. Look at that. He says, let me tell you something about Stephen King. Stephen King wishes he could write like me. I've sold way more books than him, but no one ever talks about that. And is it true? Well, let's take a look. Surprisingly, Stephen King has sold over 350 million books. R.L. Stine, 400 million. So R.L. Stine, that is a true statement in that movie. All right, also a nice round of applause for Chris Valrol taking a stab at our Say What soundbite. I had a feeling, Chris, that those last two words were going to be really difficult, but don't worry, we'll clear them up in just a moment. But right now, we've got some birthdays to celebrate.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, amigos, here's your famous birthdays for today. The first person was born in 1953. 1953, the same year that Tenzing and Hillary went to the top of Mount Everest. So the same moment that was happening, one of the greatest film composers ever was born. And I'm not talking about John Williams, because he's definitely there. Hans Zimmer, yes. This is another one. He's worked with Tim Burton a lot. Also, Gus Van Sant. You might recognize his music in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Beetlejuice, Batman, Batman Returns, Edward Scissorhands. Also, Good Will Hunting, Men in Black, 50 Shades of Grey. And he's even written the themes for Desperate Housewives. And, are you ready for this one? The Simpsons. What? The Simpsons. Yeah. That music. So basically a master. And I didn't even mention Alice in Wonderland, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Shall I go on? I mean, this guy is a god as far as composing. Number two, this person is another composer, but more in the rock and roll genre, not in movies. And he is an English, he is, I just killed the guy, oh my God. He is an English singer, songwriter, and guitarist, co-founder and lead singer of Status Quo, or as the British say, Status Quo. They say status quo, we say status quo. I guess since they're British, we got to follow them this time. The band should know their own name. Oh, you're in the army now. I remember that one, but they have so many other amazing songs. And last but not least, a man who is known by his initials, a man who was the 35th president of the United States of America until he was assassinated in broad daylight in 1963 in Dealey Plaza in Texas. Yes, the guy who coined the "ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Yeah, that guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Valrol. Blowing everybody out of the water today, Chris. I gotta say, you win the gold star today. Chris says Danny Elfman. That's right, Danny Elfman. Number two, Francis Rossi. And number three, President JFK, former president or President JFK. And that'll take us to our Say What soundbite. This is JFK. And he says, we observe today, observamos hoy, not a victory of parties, de partidos, no es fiestas, aunque es un buen double trouble, but a celebration of freedom. Una celebración de la libertad, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal, renovación, as well as change. For I have sworn, for is because, for I have sworn, to swear, jurar, también decir palabrotas. Oye, y se conjuga igual que wear. So wear, wore, worn, swear, swore, sworn. Añade una S y lo tienes. right? Ya que hemos mirado ese, y ya tienes la conjugación de los dos. So, for I have sworn before you and Almighty God. He jurado delante de vosotros y el todopoderoso Dios. The same solemn oath. And solemn, solemne, I think you say, and an oath, O-A-T-H, is a promise. Una promesa, an oath, a solemn oath. All right, that was the tricky word over there, wasn't it, Grace? All right, let's see. Now that everybody knows what JFK is saying in the speech, let's listen to the man himself.
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
All right, amigos, wonderful job. What can I say? Excellent job. Thank you to all of you who join us live every day. Thank you to all of you unspoken heroes as well, the ones whose names I do not mention. I love you just as much, and I appreciate you just as much as those who are able to be here every day. So thank you to anybody who listens to the show with no name, who at any point has learned English with me. It's still to this day unbelievable that a lot of people follow this crazy guy, and it blows my mind. So thank you for just bringing a smile to my face every day. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you. All right. And let's take a look. Let's go out with a bang. Vamos a salir por la puerta grande, ya que estamos. And we're going to take a look at Rockin' All Over the World by Status Quo, or Status Quo. And the lyrics, oh, here we are. And here we are. Aquí estamos. Aquí estamos. Es muy español eso. Aquí estamos. And here we go. Y ahí vamos. All aboard. Hey, te suena eso, ¿no? All aboard, and we're hitting the road. Nos vamos a marchar. Here we go, rockin' all over the world. Thank you for being rockin' students, and I hope you have a rockin' rest of the day. Ciao for now. Come on. Let's rock.